Hey guys, as I've promised a few of you, I'm trying to make a video about how to study anatomy. This is the method that I've used. It doesn't mean it's going to be useful for you. Just to give you some background, I didn't have any knowledge of anatomy before medical school, so this is what I did, and it served me pretty well. So one thing I noticed is even though the most important thing for like getting a good grade is doing a lot of question, um, if you don't have any foundation like me, like nothing, it could be a little bit hard. So first I would suggest you strengthen your background in anatomy like a little bit at least. And for that I used the Netter book, like the Atlas of Human Anatomy. It used to be a required book, I guess, but it's not anymore. But if you go, let me show you, if you download this app, like it says Inklink, yeah, whatever, um, you can purchase this Atlas of Anatomy, Atlas for Human Anatomy, Netter. Like, I don't know if there is a new version of it or not. I have no idea. I think it's worth it because not only I love Dr. Netter and stuff, um, because of what I'm showing you. For example, let's say you're starting the, I don't know, upper limb, just randomly, and then what happens is you'll see a lot of these, right? Which is common in many books. But what is different here is I think this is one that is really tested. So why not looking at this at this moment? So so what we see is here it says test yourself. So when you click on it, when I click on it, yeah, and then up top it says, like, you don't see it, but it's behind here. It says test yourself, and then what you see is you can, I don't know, pick different things and test yourself. In other words, you actively gonna check yourself and see if you learned it or not. Because once you have some idea about, I don't know, what are the muscles and stuff, you can make sense of the action. I don't know, the nerve that passes through the innervation, or even the lymphatics. It makes sense. So again, like for example, you don't know what is this one, so you say, oh, is it deltoid? You're gonna check, oh, it is deltoid, so I'm happy, whatever. And but if you don't know anything about anything, so it's hard. So I would suggest this book. This is how I studied, and again, this is not a required book in many places, but for me it changed my life. Once you get some background, I'm not telling you to go learn every single vessel and whatever, because you will, if that's what you will do in future. I mean, don't worry about that much detail, because you don't know what is important and not, unless you do questions. So once you do that, you have to go to Gray's Anatomy. The Gray's Anatomy review is, I think that's the one that is required, the green one here, this one. So then you're gonna go and do that. For example, so we did back there, so let's start with chapter 1, let's say. And so I just click on it. And see, this one, the reason I like this over the PDF version or whatever, like if you have the actual textbook, you're gonna get this for free, right? You don't have to purchase this, right? So when you click on the interactive assessment, right? So it gives you the option to actually go, and since I did all of these, so sorry, you're gonna see, but it's not like that. Let me just say, for example, I didn't do this. Oh, I don't know how. Yeah, but you're not gonna see the like what is the correct answer. And the good thing is, once you click on, well, why can't I do this? Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's actually that's not bad. So you can say clear my answers. Like, who cares that I answered all of these ones, right? So what happens is, let's say you see this question, you read it, you make, I don't know what is the answer, but I think it wasn't B for sure. So you say check answer, it's wrong until you get the correct one. I haven't read the question. That's the question. That's the correct answer. So once you get there, once you find the correct answer, it gives you an explanation that is very important. So what I learned in medical school is questions teach me more than the lectures, if that makes any sense. For some reason, I learn more from my mistakes and stuff. So if you're like me, you may use this. So these are the two most important things. Because the reality is you're going to see a lot of, I don't know, actions for muscles and stuff like that. But once you go to Netter, and I mean, once you go more specifically, once you go to Grey's Anatomy, and you know what is exactly important, I mean, which actions of which muscles, then it's easier because it's like proning, you know, like babies that have a lot of, I don't know, neurons, and many of them, I mean, connections, and many of it gonna die off. You don't need that many connection, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the same process. You don't need a lot of these information, and these questions gonna tell you which connections you don't need, which information you don't need, so it can be more, well, more focused on what is important for medical school. I think it's based on the statistics of clinical issues that they see. And remember, probably many people are going to kill me, but there is a branch of science that is anatomy, and people go there and get, I don't know, postdoc in anatomy, and that's not what you're doing. So just take it easy, be chill, just learn what is important. Honestly, I enjoy the anatomy. It's like a map, you learn whatever, and actually you can see it in everyday, I don't know, I mean, all the applications of medicines are like that, but anatomy is more so, you know, you just see it. You can think of many examples. I'm not going to bother you with any. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of what sources I used. And also, yeah, like whatever source you get from school, I mean, in terms of questions and stuff like that, those are super important. Any question is good. Like BRS is amazing, but to me, Grey's Anatomy is like very similar to the exam material because it's a little bit harder, I would say, or it has more questions too. And also the other thing is, but BRS, sorry, I'm just jumping in different parts. BRS has amazing summary, right? Like the summary pages, I don't know, they condense the stuff beautifully, maybe more than what you need. But Grey's Anatomy, of course, they have a textbook too. You don't have to only study this. You can go with the textbook, but I would say if you have time, you do other bars. As you can see, I have 4 of them. But review the one that is super important. And that would be it. Thank you. Hopefully it helps.